Okay, so where we left is on the bhuta. You still have confusion on that, we can handle it. Otherwise, continue from here. The next section is about what he talks about ahara, food, fuel. So now we have finished on the bhuta. Now we are coming to the fuel. The whole entire this Mahatanha Sankaya Sutta is on fuel and fire. In that we are taking fuel, not the fire. Fire as in Vijnana and fuel as in Patavi, Apo, Tejo, Vayo, like that. So basically, this is what you need to understand. Another thing you need to understand is on Nama Rupa. Hope you have clarity there on Nama Rupa. So that is when the Vijnana comes. Okay. But anyway, if you have doubts, we can sort it out. But for now, let's continue on this from the Bhuta point of view. When it comes, when the Bhuta comes, the question is, how does the Bhuta sustain? Now, this is the Bhuta. Can it sustain? Yes. How? So, how means what? How means, how does it sustain? It can only sustain through food, ahara. So, in the Samanera Sutta, where the 7-year-old becomes an arhat, the question asked is, ekam kim? He says, sabbe satta aharatika. Or this bhuta, or any bhuta, it's ahara. So, can you see every being as just food? Then you attain Nibbana. In case you can see. If you see it as bhuta, then you have a problem. And now you have an identifier. But if you see it like a food, then there's no problem. So Buddha says there are 4 kinds of food which will sustain. One is the physical food, which you all know. Another part is the mental food. For the mental food to happen, you need a contact. And that contact is what is termed as phassa. Phassa is contact. As in Goenka tradition, we are more towards Vedana. But as in Buddha, it's not Vedana. It is phassa. So we need to elevate ourselves to phassa than Vedana. Even though the starting point what we started was Vedana, but now you have to drop Vedana forever, go into phassa, contact. So phassa ahara, which will be going in detail. Don't worry about that. Then the third ahara or food is mano sanchetana ahara. Mano sanchetana. Sanchetana means intention, intending. Mano is the third one. That is chitta, mano, manasam. In that it is the second one. It's not third one, it's the second one. So mano sanchetana ahara, which means that it knows the object. Chitta is just the awareness. Mano is an identifier. It identifies the object. Not yet into Hadayam, but it identifies the object. That has got Sanchetana. That is, it creates an intention. So I have an intention of doing this or that. That is Mano Sanchetana. And Vijnana itself is an ahara. That is, if you become aware of Again, taking example of Bobby, it's an ahara. So the consciousness now resides or stays or does everything on Bobby. As long as Bobby exists, so long the consciousness is going to eat. Okay. These are the four ahara. When there is no Bobby, there is no conscious experience. As in deep sleep, there is no Bobby. So whenever Bobby is dissolved in sleep, there is no conscious experience of Bobby. So if Bobby were to be asked, did you sleep well? At the max, he can give that answer. So he will say, yes, Vilas ji, I had a very nice sleep. But if Bobby were to be probed further, what did you do in the sleep? Vilas ji, I slept. But what did you do? There's no answer. Why? Because there is no vinyana. So does that mean you're dead? No. Does that mean you're alive? No. Does that mean you're partially dead and partially alive? No. Does that mean you're neither dead nor alive? No. So this is called as tetralemma. I want to know whether I am alive or dead in deep sleep. And nobody can answer it. In the same way, Nirodha Samapatti, when it happens, you're dead or alive is not known. Just like you can't plan to go into sleep. Can you set a meeting reminder to go to sleep? You can say, okay, 1 p.m. Now Bobby normally sleeps in the afternoon, so he can put an alarm. I want to go to sleep. It will never happen. In the same way, you can't get into Nirodha Samapatti. You can't enter into Nirodha Samapatti. It just happens. You can make the environment ready, just like yawning starts and then oh, okay, like that, and then you say, can I hit the bed if you don't mind? Then yeah, why not? Then I go and hit the bed. If I hitting the bed doesn't mean I'm going to sleep. You kept the environment ready. But when you're going to sleep, even the sleep doesn't know. Forget you knowing it. You might sleep, after a while some dreams comes up, and when the mind withdraws itself, you have no idea why that happened. Because there was no ahara at all. Namarupa nirodho, vinyana nirodho. Any questions, anyone? Now, what are we trying to do is to exactly mimic the sleep state in full awareness. So, if anybody wants to know whether he has attained Nirodha Samapatti or not, better he check out Was it like the depth of sleep, more deeper than the deepest sleep, where nothing can wake you up? Okay, if you have attempted it, got it, excellent. You have not got it, don't worry. We will get there. So that's a measure because ahara should not be there. The fuel comes fire. So the consciousness latches onto the fire. No, it latches onto the fuel, obviously. What is a fuel? So Buddha says four kind of fuel, which is sustained. Okay, any questions here? No. Then this way of seeing, it is if this exists, this exists. If doesn't exist, it doesn't happen. Is what is called as ida pachayata. Pachaya means condition. Ida pachayata means with this condition. And the formula is iti imasmim sati idam hoti imassa uppada idam uppajjati. This being, this comes to be. The arising of this, this arises. So let's put it in a proper perspective. With food being, form comes to be. With the arising of the food, the form grows. Isn't it true? If you don't give food, there is no growth of the body. Whether you believe or you don't believe, you partially don't believe, doesn't matter. That's the nature. Now, what is Dhamma? Dhamma is the nature. All beings are sustained by food. So obviously, the body is going to grow out of food. All beings are sustained by contact. So wherever you have six senses, you have a contact. And due to contact, it creates feeling. There is no way anybody can prove that they can get a feeling minusing the contact. So those people who do vipassana, and if they are mistaken by chance, that sensations are going to happen irrespective of the contact, then they are strongly mistaken. If there were no contact between the body and the thing to be touched through consciousness, there can't be any feeling. How can there be a feeling minusing your contact? With contact comes feeling. There are some people who think that contact is one thing and feeling is another thing. No. If they have such kind of doubt, they better clarify themselves that whether it is true. That means if it is true, then you have proven the Buddha Dhamma to be wrong. That is, if this comes to be, that itself you are saying it's untrue. I can get a feeling without a contact. That's not possible. And there's not just one contact, 6 contacts. So just by watching the body sensation, you are not going to get eye contact, ear contact, nose contact, tongue contact, and mental contact. It's just not possible. If again somebody has a thinking that all the 5 senses contacts are going to happen in the body, then you have again proven Buddha Dhamma wrong. Maybe Buddha was drunk that he said there are 6 consciousness. Maybe somebody in Burmese tradition should have met him and said that, you know what, there is only one consciousness. And he would have blasted that person like what he blasted Sati, because he felt that there was only one contact. So there's nothing like that. There are 6 contacts and 6 feelings and 6 perceptions, not one perception. There's 6 of them. And each is distinct. It's not the same perception. It's not a different perception. It's just a perception. Like what the eye can perceive, the ear cannot perceive. Meaning to say, you can't replace the eye by the ear and say that the ear can see and the eyes can hear. It's just impossible. Again, if somebody has a wrong view that is single perception, maybe he should study it again and see for himself. There are 6 perceptions, and the 6 perceptions are Rupa Sanya, Saddha Sanya, Gandha Sanya, Pottabha Sanya, Kaya Sanya, like Kaya is Pottabha, then Dhamma Sanya. Okay, so there are 6 perceptions. There are no one perception. So when we say Sanya, the question is, which Sanya are you talking about? Is it Gandha Sanya, Rasa Sanya, Pottabha Sanya, like that? Meaning, is it a sight, sound, taste, touch, smell, and thought? And for your kind information, they just don't come on the body. Meaning, the tongue taste, does it appear on the body? Will you feel the rasa floating across your body? It only happens in the tongue. Is your body, is your eyes everywhere your body, that the entire body is able to see? No, you have only 2 pairs of eyes on the face. In the same way with the ear and the nose, like that. Okay, so this clarity we should have. But then the question comes, but when I do the Vipassana of Burmese tradition, then why do I feel like everything is appearing in the body? The reason for that is, when you close your eyes, the eye sense door is shut. And when you sit in a shunyagara, the ear sense door also partially gets cut. The nose sense door also partially gets cut. The tongue sense door gets cut completely because you don't have anything to eat. Okay. Then you are left out with only body sense door and the mind sense door. So then what happens? Since the consciousness has nowhere to flow, it flows onto the body sense door, giving its full potential. So it would seem as though everything is happening on the body. But when you come out of that shunyagara or meditation hall or whatever, wherever you were sitting, and you start seeing, the body sensation disappears and it is replaced by eye sense door. So there is a sensation coming out of your eyes. Then the ear sense door. Then some fragrance or some smell is coming. Then you have a nose sense door. And each of them is a phassa, which is a food. So you need to know or we need to know in clear sense, no doubts, that Buddha just said about 6 sense doors, not a single sense door, as in the body, and misunderstanding yourself that everything appears in the body is just not possible. Then what it would mean is all the senses are getting merged in the body, which is nonsense. That means the body sense door has a capability on its own to drive all the other 5 senses towards itself, which then makes Buddha Dhamma as the most unscientific experience. So he gives clarity here. Ahara. So there is 6 of them. Then Mano Sanchetana are also 6 of them. But then the mana, mind, takes predominance over it. So it decides. And hence he doesn't talk about Chakku Sanchetana, Sota Sanchetana, Ghana Sanchetana, Jivha Sanchetana, Kaya Sanchetana. He's only saying about Mano Sanchetana Ahara. Why? Because that is predominant in deciding. The decision is taken by the mind, not by the Chakku, the Sota, Ragana, Jivha, Kaya. Even though all have their own Sanchetana, there's an intention of seeing, there's an intention of hearing. Yeah, mastermind. So what Buddha did, he looked into this and he said, Mano Pubbangama Dhamma. Mind is the forerunner, because it's Mano. After Chitta is Mano. So he put that. So we should understand the context on which this works. And hence Mano itself is an ahara. And then comes 6 consciousness, which itself is an ahara. Again, a small clarity. If you are looking at sensation on the body, you might get an assumption that there's only one single vijnana, just like sati. If Buddha would be there, he would have blasted like what he blasted sati. There are 6 consciousness, not one consciousness. We already covered it, like 6 fires. Okay. So those people who have got addicted to Goenka technique and looking at sensation from morning till night, thinking that that's the only thing in the world that has to be done, have proper clarity that there's not one consciousness there of the body where you think that every sensation is appearing on the body, which means there's only one single consciousness. However, there are 6 consciousness. If you remove one, the other one takes over. If you remove that one, the other one takes over. There are 6 of them. Okay. This is another clarity what you need to have. So if somebody asks you how many consciousnesses are there, you have to know that there are 6 of them. And how many can you experience at one time? It's one. It's not multitasking. It's single tasking. Got it? And hence it is subjective consciousness, established consciousness, established on name and form, which is why it is called as Vijnana. Clear? So we've seen all the 4 aharas. Kabalinka ahara means solid food, coarse or gross, oh sorry, gross and subtle. Then Asa Ahara, which is 6 contacts. Then Mano Sanchetana Ahara, intention on the mind. The last one is the Vijnana Ahara, the 6 Vijnana, 6 consciousness, which was covered earlier. That itself is Ahara, which means fuel. It fuels itself. I would ask, how does it fuel itself? It fuels by its sense, which is mind. So now I can see, even though Bobby is sitting in that room a month ago, oh, today is we already in 29th. 1 month, 2 days ago, or 3 days ago, I was sitting in the same place. Can I remember it? Yes. Can I experience what I saw in that room? Yes. Can I experience time I spent with Bobby and Merin? Yes. All that is coming. The sound also will come. Sight will come. Taste will come. Smell will come. Touch will come. And thoughts will come. You understand, clearly understand this, that you get all the 6 of them. And hence it is Vijnana Ahara. Any questions? No questions today, Bobby? Subtle is like in the womb. It's a subtle food. There's no gross food. Just like from the time the conception happens, the subtle food, till it starts eating the gross food. Yes, Baidyanath.
Sir, suppose that I am seeing any object. That object, first of all, Chakshu Vinyan itself is a food there. You are telling Vinyan itself is a food there. And second thing, Phasa also a food there. Both that I am seeing an object. So my Chakshu Vinyan is a Chakshu Vinyan itself is there. And another thing, what I am seeing, that is also. Please clarify that.
Good question. Okay, let's take you and I as an example. I am seeing whom? I'll say I'm seeing Baidyanath. Clear. Now, the moment there is an experience of Baidyanath, it is Vijnanahara. Clear? Any question there? Also has a contact. Because of the contact, there's a feeling. What feeling did I get when I meet Baidyanath? Pleasant. Let's take Bobby. Bobby and I keep on fighting, let's say, on the Dhamma subject only. He brings in books and I bring in this, and we both sit and fight. And then whenever that happens, whenever I see this nice gentleman's face, but inside my heart I have a irritation. Hey, instead of a smile, I have an irritant. What I'm going to do? I'm going to talk harsh at Bobby, even though that poor person has not done anything. Now, these 2 ahara, Phassa ahara and Vijnana ahara. The Vijnana ahara is collecting it as Bobby. The Phassa ahara is the what we call a sensation or the feeling which is coming associated with it is the Phassa ahara. So if you look at the Putta Mamsa Sutta, Buddha gives clarification on Phassa ahara. It's like a cow which doesn't have a skin. And the flies from the northern side, from the western side, and the eastern side, and the southern side, they keep on targeting this cow. So the cow runs from south to north. It stops and this flies pounce on it. It starts running from north to south, same. Now it plans to go to the east, same. Plans to go to the west, same. In the same way, if you see something, if you make a nimitta of it, that is vijnana ahara. But when it gets connected to that object, it becomes a feeling. There's a feeling of that, which is pleasant, unpleasant, neither pleasant nor unpleasant. These are the two ahara. Now we might even ask a question that why this separation? Could have been done the same. No, the separation is because I recognized that body as Bobby. That's a different experience. But then I contacted Bobby. That created a feeling. The two different things. Okay. So chakuncha paticcha rupe cha uppajjati Bobby consciousness. Sotancha paticcha sadde cha uppajjati Bobby consciousness. Because Bobby speaks, his voice I can recognize. Ghanancha paticcha gande cha uppajjati Bobby consciousness. Because I stayed with Bobby, he has a particular odor or smell, and I can recognize this is body smell of Bobby. Kayancha paticcha pottabbe cha uppajjati Bobby vinyanam. That kaya is Bobby. So I know this is Bobby's hand. If I touch Marin, it doesn't become Bobby's hand. It becomes Marin's hand. If I touch Ravindra here, it becomes Ravindra's hand, even though I have touched only the hand. But what is the experience I'm getting is the Ravindra's hand. That is the Vijnana Ahara. And Tinna Sangati Passo Passa Pache Vedana, because of touching Ravindra's hand or Bobby's hand, it gives rise to a feeling in the hand because of that contact, which creates feeling. So then what we can see, there's a subtle difference between the initial recognition as Bobby or Marin or Baidyanath or Shaniel or Eriu, as opposed to just seeing that object and hearing that object and tasting that object and that. And hence it is feeling. I would ask, even Vijnana, you should get feeling. Yes, you will get the feeling after it is connected. Tinna Sangati Passo. That is, these three, when it comes together, is a contact, and then the fire starts. In this contact, the fire starts. It gives a feeling. Okay. So, can I understand this? And Buddha says, by chance you understand Vijnana Ahara, you become an Arhat. You got the point? So, I will not be surprised that none of you understand it.
So we have practice on phasa because earlier told that by Indriya Samvar we can cut the phasa.
Yes. So it is better we work on phasa. Because if you see Putta Mamsa Sutta, he says, if you understand Kabalinka Ahara, Olarika Sukuma, you become Anagami. If he says, if you see there, he says, if you understand phassa, mano sanchetana, and vinyana, you turn yourself into arhat. And the last one, vinyana, where Sariputta and that in the Mahavedala Sutta, he says, one who understands vinyana understands all. There is nothing more to understand. Craving ended, no dukkha. All the asavas are gone. Because you have cut off nama and rupa. So presently, as it stands, including me, I've still not reached that level. It would be a time that I'll be able to get it there, but I have a very good grasp of this vijnana, consciousness, what it does and what it doesn't do. So presently, we have to take it with a pinch of salt that chakuncha paticcha rupecha uppajjati Baidyanath Vinyanam or Bobby Vinyanam, Shenial Vinyanam is different than the phassa when it happens. First you get the Vinyana and then the phassa happens. Clear? First you light and then it catches fire. Right? But good question. I appreciate it. Asking me what's the difference between both. But there is a subtle difference. You slightly work out, you will get to see the difference. There is a subtle difference. And hence he says Vinyana Ahara. Otherwise, there was no need at all to put Vinyana as Ahara. It is sufficient. Phassa itself has Vinyana, right? Inna Sangati Phassa, it already has. What else is a Phassa? Why separate? Good question. Anyone? All good? So, six consciousness. Now we go into the section of Patisamutpada. And that is what Buddha Dhamma is all about. So he says, Ime cha bhikkave chattaro ahara kim nidana kim samudaya kim jatika kim pabhava. The beautiful one. Okay. Kim nidana. Nidana means origin. Like Maha Nidana Sutta. Maha means higher, bigger. Nidana is origin. What's the origin of this? How does it come to be? What's the origin? So we are talking about origin. Kim Nidana. Kim Samudaya. How does it arise? Kim Jatika. What is their Jati means birth? How does it born? How is it born? And Kim Pabhava. Pabhava is actually, they translate it in a very wrong way. It's a term which is there in every Indian language called Prabhava, which is Pabhava in Pali. It means what is its effect when it comes? What's its effect? What it is going to do? So these four we need to remember. Okay. Kim Nidana, origin. Kim Samudaya, how did it arise? Kim Jatika is what's its birth? How is it born? And what is its effect? How does it get affected? Pabhava. So he says here, these four, craving is its what? Origin. A question comes, why do you crave? For sustenance. Why else? You crave for sustenance. What does that mean? It means you want to become power. That's the starting of the craving. What do you want to become? Whatever is not there. Meaning the food, eating. I want it to become this. That's true. We have that. We'll find some or the other fault in that. Salt is more, that is less, this is there, that is not there. It should have been better. It should have been done better. Is on the food. Which food? Kabalinka ahara. Then phassa ahara. I think this could have been better today. It's rainy. No, it's very sunshine. It is like this. It's like that. It's phassa ahara. Okay? So that's the origin. Power. Let it be like this. That's the origin. How does it start? Samudaya. How does it arise? Because of this origin, how does it arise? It arises because you have a need for it. So you want it. So there is a want, and that creates need. So that is how it arises. The craving arises because of the need to satisfy the want. Then, Kim Jatika, what is his jati, the birth condition? It makes you feel uncomfortable till you get it. And that's the effect. Any questions here? In the text, they put everything as craving, 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 without explaining how does it arise or how does it, what's the origin, what's the cause, then what's the birth or how it is born and how it is taking effect. Yes, Ari.
Yeah, regarding what you said about it makes you uncomfortable until you get it. I'm wondering if you think of, let's say, a coffee which you want. Is that a dukkha vedana on the mind?
No, no, no. You, like I'm saying, first you have to understand there is sustenance. The ahara, the fuel, is required for sustenance. Sustenance of what? The fire. You forget the bhuta, you're completely out of Mahanida, this Mahatanha Sankhya Sutta. Bhuta is the fire. They are not talking about the fuel. Clear? It's very difficult sutta. I understand it's not easy to digest, but you have to be very, what I can say, attentive. Otherwise, you won't understand. So, first you need to know the bhuta. Hope you have known the bhuta, right? The fire, the shape. It has taken a shape. Just like this body has taken a shape. This is bhuta. This body is the bhuta. What we are calling Aryu is a bhuta. What we are calling Ravindra is a bhuta. Now we are asking this question, how does the bhuta sustain? It sustains by food. Then we defined what are the 4 different kinds of food. Now we are coming into 4 dimension of seeing it. What's the origin? What's the cause? What's the birth? And what's the effect? And if you see the text, it just says craving as its origin, craving as its cause, craving as its birth, and craving as whatever they have put there for the pabhava. Yes, go ahead.
Yeah, I think I roughly understand the context. But I guess my question is, let's say I want to hear some music
Hmm.
because I feel bored,
Mhm.
right? So that is that boredom is a dukkha vedana on the mind. Hence, I'm go chasing some music. Is that how it works?
We are not coming into that at all. We are talking about sustenance. Please understand, there is sustenance. How does a being sustain the fire? How does it get sustained? That's a question. We are not looking at whether you get bored and then you listen to the music, or you got bored and you started eating. That's not the question here at all. Do you understand how being sustained? That's where we are at this point in time. Let's only focus on the sustenance. Yes, go ahead.
And I'm asking this because you said it make you uncomfortable.
Yes.
I just understand what does that mean in more detailed terms.
If the fire were to get extinguished, won't it get uncomfortable? That's what it means. Doesn't mean anything else. And please remember, in the beginning, Buddha gives 6 fire similes. And then he asked the bhikkhus, Bhutamidanti. And everyone says, Evam Bhante. Yes, I can see. Let's assume that you have not seen it at all. You're in bad position now because you have not understood anything at all what he's trying to say there. So is that real? Is that what you are currently in? If yes, then we have to go back. That's the reason I'm again and again asking, do you have any questions relating to Bhuta? Yesterday I asked, reason being, if you don't understand Bhuta, you're out of it. Please go back to the section and read for yourself what Buddha is asking the bhikkhu. Do you see the Bhuta? How it has come to be. Bhuta means how it has come. With the fuel, there's a fire. Is there a fire independent of the fuel? The answer is no. In the same way, he's saying eyes, ear, nose, tongue, body, and mind come to be because of what? Nothing. Eye consciousness and ear consciousness and nose consciousness, etc., come to be because of eye, ears, nose, and like that. So, eyes, ear, nose, tongue, body, and mind are the fuel for this consciousness to arise. So, chakuna rupam disva. Once there is a seeing, the consciousness comes. So, the fuel, the fire, is that not the bhuta? The answer is yes, it is the bhuta. Now, from there, we progress till here. How does the bhuta sustain? It is sustained by food. So it requires four kind of food. So we spoke about physical food, then three mental food. Out of the three mental food, one is itself a consciousness. So we covered that. Now we covered also on the Patisamutpada a little bit. Now we are going detailed into it. So when I say pabhava, it's an effect. When I say uncomfortable, if the water is not given to the plant, isn't it not feeling uncomfortable? In the same way, if you don't get the food, physical and mental, there is uncomfortable. That's not the feeling we are talking about at this point in time. It's just the thing about uncomfortable where you refuel it. Otherwise, it will get extinguished. So the objective of Buddha Dhamma is to cut the craving. By cutting the consciousness. Namarupa samudaya, vinyana samudaya. Namarupa nirodha, vinyana nirodha. So when the nirodha of vinyana happens, there is nothing needs to be done. So he's asking this question, how does this food come to be? The food is coming to be through craving for existence, for sustenance. If the fire has to sustain, it has to be regularly be put, fuel has to be put. Otherwise, there can't be any fire without the fuel. Do you now understand what is the bhuta, or are you still lost in that? Yes, go ahead.
No, I don't think I have particular doubt about Buddha, but I think
But
I understand.
then it means the same thing. It exactly means the same thing. When you question that why uncomfortable, meaning you don't know what is bhuta. As simple as that, sorry, Aryu.
I think now I understand that the presence of fire and the not presence of fuel is what the uncomfortable is.
Fuel doesn't get uncomfortable.
Because there is fire and there's no fuel, hence there's uncomfortable.
Absolutely right. You just check any plant. Just go, don't water it, and then see what happens. You'll see it dried out. Basically, it has withered. Right?
And it's not feeling per se, this uncomfortable thing. It's not a feeling.
I don't know from where do you just the English word uncomfortable. If that's making you uncomfortable, put another word to that. I've got no problem. But you need to drive home the point of what it means rather than the grammatical word of uncomfortable. Oh, what's being uncomfortable? Oh, is it a feeling? What feeling? What has feeling got to do here? There's nothing to feel. It's just sustenance. It's asking this question. What does it do? How does it? What's the origin? What's the cause? What's the birth? And what's the effect? Answer in whichever way whichever language you want to use, you can use. I have no problems, but don't get misunderstood. These are the four questions. He says, craving is the cause for that. A craving is for all the four. Now I'm trying to explain what craving does over there. Maybe uncomfortable might not be the right word. You fill it with some other word. I have no problems. Got it. But don't get overwhelmed or confused that what's uncomfortable there. Yes, if you really see, there's uncomfortable. There's something uncomfortable about it because just like you're hungry, okay, there's a feeling of hunger. That's absolutely true. And in the Pachavekana, Buddha says this feeling is different. This is not a craving kind of feeling. Understand? You don't crave when you are fed. It's just life sustenance. So he says, even then, the becoming, the bhava is there. So there is craving for that. So the craving is the origin, craving is the cause, craving is the birth, and craving is the effect. Should we go further? All of you? Sure? Understood? Now he asks about what about craving itself? Now he's not talking about ahara. Now he's asking craving itself. By itself, he says feeling. So your question is answered here, not there. Are you? The uncomfortable feeling is answered here, not there. So you have to be very sharp in understanding this. If you mix it, it has a short circuit. Okay, seems to be that everyone seemed to be stuck here. No problem. So we'll do the balance one on Monday. I want to cut it here. Seemingly, I think the experiment has created disastrous result. So the thing is, reflect upon it, try to understand what is he trying to say. It's a very difficult sutta. Yes, Shaniel.
Yeah, to me, it seems like a very subtle teaching, and the natural tendency is to jump ahead, but we need to break it down step by step to
Yes,
see all of
yes.
the parts, you know?
Yes, that's the reason I'm slowing it down. And I'm seeing Bobby, he's completely gone somewhere. I'm seeing Baidyanath, he's almost like zombie. And the only person who is trying to understand whatever I'm trying to say is Aryu. And I'm seeing that you're little picking it up. The remaining people are not on video. I have no idea what it bringing. And Ravindra sitting next to me, he's completely evaporated. I don't see him anywhere next to me also. So I had to abandon this launch of this satellite, which I thought will fly. So it couldn't even fly 1 point from where we left yesterday. It crash landed. So
I had a similar thought to Eriu as well when you talked about uncomfortableness and feeling, but I guess that is linked to craving, and craving is these four things that you talked about. So yeah, we have to go step by
you
step.
have to go in order. And that's the reason I stopped him. Otherwise, he'll jump into the, uncomfortable is a feeling. Yes. Then what happened to the craving?
Yeah. Got it. Thank you. Thanks for your patience.
Yeah. No worries. No worries. I have to build that. This, especially this sutta. And we are going to take another extremely difficult sutta if you are alive. That is Mahanidana Sutta. It's in Diga Nikaya 15. It's a thing like somebody hits on your head so badly that it takes you months to recover. In fact, Buddha blasts Ananda. Ananda says, Bhante, I want to share something with you. He says, yes, Ananda, tell me. He says, Patisamutpada, I have picked it up. I've understood everything, Patisamutpada. He says, don't say that, Ananda. Don't ever say that, Ananda. There are people who think they've understood, they've gone mad at it. There are people who presume they understand it. Patisamutpada is so deep You cannot just understand it. But out of patience and out of compassion, I am going to teach you Patisamutpada. He again repeats. And Ananda, like a fool, asks one beautiful question which makes Buddha feel really upset. He says, how many times, in how many ways have I not told you this? But still, out of compassion, I'm going to tell you. Okay, so I have to do the same process of being compassionate and looking at, okay, we'll abandon for today. And then we understood only till where? Tanha, baby. Before we leave, okay, think it over in this way. You don't have to get worked up. What is the meaning of sustenance? Sustenance means that there is a will inside to live. Isn't it true or not? You want to live. Nobody wants to die. Who is interested in dying? I don't think so. Nobody wants to die. That's the interest of living. So the question is, why do you want to live? Because there's craving for life. Right? And that's what he's saying. There's craving for life. No, 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 I want to die today. Right. People think that by committing suicide or cutting themselves up, there's no future life. He's an idiot because he's in the cycle only. It doesn't matter. So there is for a will for living. Let's accept it. So don't think that just by taking a poison or eating something or whatever, if I end my life and that's it. No, not at all. That's not what we are talking about. It's completely cutting off it, meaning there's no vijnana left to get established. That's different. And that's where this sutta leads to and connects to the Mahanidana Sutta, which we'll be doing it very soon. That's a bummer. I'm telling you, once I start on that, you're going to go crazy at it. This is no craziness over there. So we'll see how long we are going to sustain it. But please work on this word sustenance. Is a will to live. Aren't we planning for tomorrow? Yep, that's the will to live. In simple words, there's a will for tomorrow. Vilas ji, I don't agree about tomorrow. Agree or disagree doesn't matter. You are planning for tomorrow. Come on, don't act funny. We all, including me, working for tomorrow. Otherwise, there was no need for Shaniel to book the flight ticket so early. And of all the people, Airway has booked for end of December now itself. What was the need? A day before you could have booked it. And you would have said, you know what, Vilas, if I am alive, or Vilas could have said, if I am alive, Shaniel, then we'll book it. If I am not alive anyway, there's no point. No, we booked it. We booked the flight ticket. There's nothing wrong. That's a fact. So there's a will of living. What if Ravindra had to tell him, tomorrow is catching the flight? Yes, Shaniel, see you, bye-bye. So he's catching the flight. And then we say, where is Bombay? I don't think so. Or Mumbai. I don't think so. No, there is. There is Mumbai. He's going to Mumbai. He'll go home. He'll meet his family. All that is true. So that is called a sustenance. So that is the cause. Craving is the cause. It's not a gross craving. It's subtle craving. It's inside the will to live. So nobody can say, I don't have any will to live. You don't have will to live in this life. That's okay. That's understandable. Because of the family conditions, because of some failures, because of some issues, you want to end. Just like I want to divorce my wife. Yeah, that's possible. But can you divorce yourself? Come on. Don't act like a kid. You can't. Accept. Hold your patience. Buddha will teach how to cut existence. That's what we need to learn. So he's asking 4 questions. Please remember, Kim Nidana. What's the origin? Kim Samudaya. How does it arise? Kim Jatika. What's the how it's born? Kim Pabhava. What's its effect? What does it do? Okay, when it comes, what does it do? Clear? So, we have any questions, concerns? All understood now? Misunderstood? Overly understood? Understood to be misunderstood? I don't know which one. Can tell me. Okay, otherwise, relax, enjoy the ride. I mean, yes, Baidyanath.
Sir, in Bhav Tanha, Bhav is also a word which means to be or to becoming.
Yeah.
And here it is in Bhuta. You are also telling that Bhuta is a word which means to be or to becoming.
Yes, correct.
Oh, please correlate, sir.
Please what? Correlate.
Yes.
It's already correlated. What to correlate? You already answered.
Both are same.
Yeah, it is same. A little bit of difference is that the fire. Have you seen, Baidyanath, have you seen anything called as a bonfire?
Yeah, I've seen, sir.
Sure.
Means we have played picking wood and burning the fire and dancing and
Yes, absolutely correct. Next time, please watch it. You will see the bhuta. It looks like some figure, like a human figure, some figure. And people also take a picture and say that it looks like human being or something like that. Right? And that is what is bhuta. So this is that. This and that and that and that. All are bhuta. Yes, Harry.
Hope it's not a stupid question.
No, it can be stupid. That's not an why are you certifying it is stupid? Okay.
It's just that in the usual, when we talk about paticca samuppada, tanha is a condition for upadana, for grasping. So maybe I'm seeing if there's a connection between these four ahara, it's that the object of the upadana is these four.
There is a subtle one, but not in a sense what you're saying. The mind grasps onto it, which means the consciousness grasps onto it because vijnana itself is ahara. It's just like self-feeding, algorithm of self-feeding, right? So we can have a AI ML which will self-feed on the data. So when you do a data mining, you can create a algorithm which will make it self-feed, like the bots what you have today, right? It self-feeds on information. All the bots do the same, self-feeding. Yes, Baidyanath, go ahead.
Sir, there is a good example of these aharas. When we practice Uposat day, we don't get Kabalikahara food, and first one. The second one, we don't try to get contact of Phasa. Third, on that day, we don't have any such kind of intention to do anything. And the fourth one, by Indriya Samvar Vijnana is also constant. So by practicing this four, we feel that on a Posa day, what you tell, like feeling like a devas or they, so we can experience, we really experience this. If we have a divide of these four ahara or foods, we move towards such kind of realization, or we can say nibbanic pleasure, or what you can say.
Absolutely. True.
But
Very,
when,
very good
yes,
observation. Yes, that's correct.
but when we return back in normal life, and when we get aharas, all the things starts again.
Yeah, yeah, because there is always that origin arising, then you have that the born, it gets born, and then there is effect.
Mm.
Okay, good. So nice that we ended soon with that. We couldn't go further, so don't worry, we'll take it on Monday.